Well, hello, everybody. It's my great pleasure today to introduce you to Jo Soley, who's the founder of Bizology, and using the power of numerology. What's the next bit, Jo?
To elevate your business success.
To elevate your business success. So Jo is involved in the fascinating business of numerology, but we'll hear more about that in a minute. Jo, I've really thoroughly enjoyed the last few years watching you grow and develop, and your business growing and develop, and get ever more fascinating with each year that passes. So tell us a bit, Jo, about your transition from employed to self-employed, because a lot of people out there dream of having their own business, but it's a big step, isn't it, to step into the world of self-employed. How was it for you?
Hi Grace, thank you very much for having me today. So really I think looking back, the universe forced me into being self-employed because I worked overseas for about 15 years and I had amazing jobs and I worked in amazing hotels and incredible countries, but I was never that happy because as a life path one, I hate being told what to do. So I had these wonderful jobs, and when I moved to Devon, I had a brilliant job, but nothing ever.
What were you doing?
I was the business development manager of Creeley Great Adventure Park.
Yeah.
But I was never really that happy because I like just to have free reign to be able to get on with it. So then I think certain situations unfolded, cosmic tumblers aligned, and I ended up finding myself without a position, my choice, and instead of going to job agencies or writing to people or applying for jobs, I just thought, well, this isn't square one, it's square 21, because I've been here a few times and I don't want to be here again. So let's start your own business. So I wouldn't recommend doing it like that. But I think for Life Path One, it was kind of like do or die.
Yeah.
And if I speak,
I'm going to say to our audience, she will explain what Life Path One means.
Yeah, no, definitely. So I speak to a lot of Life Path Ones who are not self-employed and they really struggle. So looking back, I can see that I was struggling and I was in employment, and my numeric energies, I meant to not be in employment, I meant to be in self-employment. So then finally, I was kind of thrown out of the tube, and then I started on my own. Now, I had a group of ladies around me called Ladies Do Latte, and then from that place, I reached out to them and said, who wants social media training? Who wants clarity on their message? Who wants some PR written? So, I kind of fell into it. I thought, what can I do? I offered them lots of things, and then I created my business. But I wouldn't recommend doing it like that. I just know that the universe was fed up with me trying to squeeze round pegs in square holes.
Yes.
So they were like, come on, Soley, start, and then from that place you can move forward.
In a way, you're saying you were kind of born to be self-employed. And another thing that I'm hearing in the midst of what you're saying is, if people find themselves kind of moving and not quite fitting, then maybe that's a good signal that self-employment might be useful for them if they're a Life Path One. But we'll come back to that in a minute.
No, definitely.
So I kind of watched you over the years be quite successful at most things that you turned your mind to. But what got you into numerology?
Okay, so I was using marketing, sales and business development because that's my background, and I was working in a niche which was supporting heart-centered female entrepreneurs, which is still quite niche, but it's not niche enough because there's a lot of noise out there.
Yeah.
So as a Life Path 1, which we'll explain more about in a minute, I'm meant to be innovative and different and original and authentic and imaginative. So I needed something that fit that mold, but I didn't look for it. It came to me. So 3.5 years ago, I went to an event, and the keynote speaker, Richard Abbott, his opening gambit was, forget International Women's Day, it's International Women's Millennium. It's right. Yes, it's Women's Millennium. It's the millennium for women. So my ears pricked up because that was the space that I was working in, female entrepreneurs, and everything he said that night created light bulb moments for me, because I knew I was a 1 life path, but I didn't realize the impact of it. Everything he said, we were in 2017 at the time, 2016, 2017. Everything he said about things that were happening at the time, Brexit and Trump, he aligned it energetically to the times we're in. Everything he said about and like the first initial of your name, everything. That night I just came home, probably woken up to the fact that numbers are magic, they're deep, they're cosmic, they're inherent, they're fundamental of form. So I was enthralled by this information.
I can feel your excitement. I can feel your excitement from that evening. Like a new discovery. You discovered a whole new key to life.
And where there's interest, there's ability. So I was just reading blogs, articles, books that were written in 1931, because numerology is as old as the hills. It doesn't change. I was like reading. And then I decided to bring it into my business. So I went to the London College of Psychic Studies. I did 2 courses, and then I drip fed it in. So it was like turning the Titanic. It wasn't one day. Da-da! You know, I would speak to my clients. I'd put it in my emails. I'd tell everyone that I was doing it on social, and then I'd offer like a £99 price point reading, and you know, it was from that place. And then Bizology came to me in meditation. I created my copy, I created my website, I created my brand, and that was probably about a 1.5 years ago, nearly, just over. And now it's grown to what it is today. So I've taken 88 people through my core package. I've probably done about 190 sessions. I've spoken on about 75 masterclasses I've delivered to groups, about 30 podcasts. All my numbers, I know all my numbers.
Yeah.
And I've X'd my bottom line probably nearly 70%.
Brilliant.
Year on year.
Yeah.
So that's the real, So niche is really important for a Life Path 1. I found my niche, but everything I do is alignment with my numbers. So your Grace is also a Life Path 1, but I'm born on the 4th. So my approach to life is hard work, structure, control, systems, head down, Grace is born on the 7th, so she loves to learn, ask, seek, read, Yeah, so we're similar in lots of ways with our one energy, but then that's how it goes a lot deeper.
But
So now I show
I
people.
find my sessions with you were really useful from the point of view as I shared with you. I've always been something of a reluctant leader, you know.
Yeah,
I'm a leader, but am I really? You know, and I just, everything that you said about the numbers all fit it. It was uncanny how it all fitted, and almost kind of give me permission to be a legitimate leader, like to step into it and step up to it, and as opposed to being tentative about it. And although I've been leading Western Women Mean Business, leading that group for a number of years now, even so, inside myself, I was feeling a bit tentative. So it did actually make a difference.
brilliant.
Yes,
Yeah,
it was really useful.
it's so powerful because if we've got a number, we've got it for a reason. So
Mm,
when we align, that's the job we're here to do. Our life's path is our main number, also called your destiny number. I don't call it that because it sounds a bit woo in business, but it's our destiny, what we're here to do. So if we refuse to do it, life is harder. If we can align to it,
mm.
then we can move forward. I was very busy being a 2, which is supporting other women and, you know, um, being the power behind the throne. But that's not who I'm here to be. I'm meant to be the power on the throne. So since I've aligned to that, that's where the magic happens in terms of my visibility, my authenticity, how I can, how I show up, and also money as well, because money's just a byproduct of your alignment. So the more you aligned you are, then the more you can bring in.
Yeah. I find it really fascinating. So, for women, Western women will see this, and you're going to join us for a masterclass later in the year. Um, you know, people watching this would think, well, what have numbers got to do with my business? What difference are numbers going to make to my business? So what would you say are the benefits of knowing those? I mean, usually when people are talking about numbers, and I zone out when people are talking about numbers, they mean, you know, the number of clients and the number of, you know, the P&L
Yeah.
figures and all of that. But these numbers are different. What are the benefits of knowing these numbers, Jo?
So really, um, we're all here to do a job. Life isn't meant to be easy. We make it more difficult. If we align to our numeric energies that are taken from your date of birth. You can't change your date of birth, it's impossible. You can change your name, change your life, but you cannot change your date of birth. So we've been given DNA, we've been given a blueprint. And if you can understand what those numbers mean, I mean, my, 1, 4, 8, 9, 22, so what? But if you understand what that leadership energy, that builder energy, that boss energy, that humanitarian energy, that architect of change energy, what they mean, then it's so powerful because you can stay in your lane, you can stop the comparisonitis, you can ignore lots of things and just focus on the stuff that will get you the results. And you can really, it gives you permission to be yourself because everyone else is taken, as Oscar Wilde says. So there's two things with numerology, the numeric energies, but also the 9-year cycle, because there's better years and easier years to do things. So when we understand who we are, what we're here to do, our main job in life, the numbers that are easy to stay in and we don't want to stay in there because it's not going to make us, the growth, and to watch those and to appreciate the numbers where our solutions lie and align to those, but then also look at the 9-year cycle because there's better years and easier years to do things. then we can move forward from that place.
Okay, so that's in business. I'm imagining that some people are wanting to know, well, could numerology help, help me to get a relationship? Could numerology help me in my personal life?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, definitely. So another thing about me, I'm 47, never married, no kids, and
We
I
won't hold it against you, Jo.
I'm really happy with that now. Whereas, when we first met, I think I kind of thought I should be in a relationship because that's what society says.
Yeah.
Maybe I should be pregnant because that's what society says. But I'm very happy on my own now because one, you can have a loving relationship, but you don't need one. So I'm lucky because I haven't got a guy saying, what are we doing? I haven't got kids saying, Mum, so for me, it works because I can be that, I can be that leadership energy. I can move forward. If I was to meet somebody again, it'd be fine, but I don't need somebody. Some numbers need that connection. 3, 6s and 9s, for instance, would need that connection. I don't need that connection. So first of all, you can relax, calm down, whatever. And then if I do meet somebody, I get his date of birth and check the compatibilities, because odds get on with odds and evens get on with evens. Right. So some numbers get on better. So it helps you kind of really appreciate how you would get on with people. So you can look at compatibility, you can look at whether you're meant to be in a relationship or not, and if you are, then what that looks like. You can look at the personal year cycle you're in, because some years are better to move house, some years are better to go through your finances, some years are better to travel, or when we can, so there are better years and easier years to do things, not just in business, in life. I've made Bizology, I've trademarked Bizology because it's numerology in business, but there's loads of numerologists out there, loads of, there was an article in last week's You magazine about, the life path numbers and using famous people. So it is so powerful. Lots of celebrities use it. It's as old as the hills. The Egyptians used it, Pythagoras, Nero, Plato, but it's as new as the next decision that you're going to make. So something like Strictly Come Dancing, I'll work out everyone's numbers, see that Kelvin is a 22, which is a master number, and is in the personal year 1, is 1.
Yeah.
Week 1, I know that. I don't need to watch the rest.
Right. Yeah. I'm just thinking, well, I mean, I find it helpful from even getting down to the practicalities. I find it helpful. For example, in the last few months, July was a month for wrapping up, old things wrapped up, put aside, new things in August, working on new things. And, even in my business planning, I have, you'll be pleased to know, I brought it all in and I have it in mind, and it's in my journal. What's September? What's my focus for September? So I find it useful from that point of view. And of course you did a reading for sessions for Alan, and we find it useful talking about when we're going to finish something and start something, and planning in the coming year. It's actually it gives you a bit of a steer, I find. And actually, surprisingly, and I don't know why it surprises me, because it shouldn't. I mean, I have had a huge interest in metaphysical and esoteric things since I was before I started school even. So it doesn't surprise me, but I'd never applied it or kind of had some guidance on how to apply it. So I'm imagining from right, there's the basics, the destiny number, the life path number. So once you've established all those basic numbers, Jo, developmentally, what's next?
Okay, so it's not rabbit holes, and you can imagine I get tagged in all sorts. So I had a dream about this, and I keep seeing this. People talk about repetitive numbers, which are angels' numbers. So I keep it really grounded because, you know, life isn't easy. Yes, we do make it more difficult, but we don't want to make it even more difficult. So it's not about how much information you can learn about a number. It's about understanding the subtle energy of the number and how it plays out in your life, and then working with it on a daily basis. So I always suggest to my clients to read the report that I create to them a few times, because you're always available for the next level of information each time you read it.
Yes, that's
and we
true.
are the negative of our numbers.
Yeah.
So when we can stop being the negatives and align to the positives, it's like pulling weeds out the garden. So I will frequently pick up a few books and read about my numbers, you know, and really align to that energy. But every day I get ahas. So I can think, oh, today I'm being quite 1. Oh, I'm being a bit 4 here. I need to be 8 here. I'll stop being 9 here. So let me unpack that. So being 1 is maybe being a bit too blinkered, and I just want results, and I just want things to happen quickly. Okay, wait. Nothing of worth comes easy. Things take time. Calm down. If I'm being a bit 4, I'm being a bit, you know, lists and structure and rigid, and I'm not letting go enough. So watch that, Jo. When I say I have to be a bit more 8 here, that might be increasing my prices, or having stronger boundaries, or saying no, and no is a full sentence. And if I'm being a bit 9, which is
humanitarian, because
my
that's
link,
what it might
humanitarian. Yeah, if I'm being a bit 9, that's like, okay, I'm being a bit too loving, I'm being a bit too giving, I'm being a bit too naive here. So just watch it. So it's quite subtle, but as you start to really work with them, read the reports, read other books, really understand your numbers. And in our name as well, our name isn't who we are, it's who we look like we are. So I look very 3 in my brands and on everything, but I'm not very 3, but I look 3. So people treat me like that, and I behave like that, you know. So with Grace, what you see is what you get, because she is a 1 and she looks like a 1. So there's that, you know, leadership amplified in the energy. So it's good to just, like, so it's no to rabbit holes. It's no to, you know, just more and more and more and more so your head blows up. It's not about that. It's about working with it on a daily basis. And we have an ultimate goal. And my ultimate goal is 8, success and wealth. So everything I do has to be about, Grace has got it there, I'm holding it, 8. So it has to be about the, you know, success, sustainable success, wealth, property. So that's my plan. So I know I'm a 1, the leader. I know I'm born on the 4th, the builder. I know I can work hard, but my ultimate goal is 8, success and wealth and moving forward. So really, it's quite simplified, you know, simplified like that. That's the plan. What's the plan? Be more 8. What has to happen? Okay, I'm doing a profit first model at the moment. I'm creating a membership site for more passive, you know,
income,
continual income. I'm buying a property, all things 8. So it doesn't need to be difficult. You just need to align and know the numbers, and then have a plan from that place, because there's only so many hours in the day. So yeah, that's how I do it. And then you can ground it in, can't you, and work with that easily.
So, Jo, it is fascinating and surprisingly useful and interesting. And I keep using that word surprisingly, but it's not really. Um, so, you, I'm delighted that you're going to be joining us at Western Women for, to give us a talk. How would people contact you?
So it's best to go to my website, all the W's, josoley.com, and then they can send me an email. They can sign up to my free guide, which shows them how to work out their life path number.
Right.
And then they can book a 20-minute complimentary call with me where I show them their numbers top line and share with them how they can work with me.
Well, that's really useful because I did that and I did find it definitely made a difference. So I'm going to leave it there. And I mean, part of my future planning is to have regular input from Jo to keep me on the right track, because actually it did make a difference, and I see it as like a little rider that's going to keep me on the straight and narrow. So thank you so much, Jo. It's been a pleasure to talk to you, and it just puts a whole different slant and a different light and angle on the whole world of business. Thank you very much, Jo.
Thank you.
Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.